Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We bring you stories of faith, love, and devotion. Yeah, just kidding, please help us grow by hitting that like button. Now on to the story. Just found out that my wife cheated with a promoter and it's my fault. Advice? Advice. Just found out that my wife cheated on OnlyFans. Was she playing a part, or was this real? First, let me start by saying that I'm an idiot. My wife and I knew a girl that was making crazy money on OnlyFans, and I asked her how she was doing that. I just had a medical emergency, and couldn't work, so it seemed like it could help. She spoke to my wife, and ultimately, I asked, should we do this? I ended up not wanting to be involved, but told my wife I trusted her to run her OnlyFans. Stupid, I know. Anyway, some guy on Reddit reaches out to her and claims to be a promoter. He has his own subreddit and says that he's helped other girls make a lot of money on OF. He asks her if she wants promotion and if so, to write his Instagram name on her butt for verification. She decided to take him up on his offer because she was struggling to get subscribers. She sends the picture, and he immediately asks her, let me fly you to Canada, and asks her to have sex. She responds, there's a difference between finding someone attractive and physically cheating on my husband. He says I respect that, then the next day sends a gif of him getting a blow job, and says I'm imagining you doing this, and my wife responds saying she was good at it. The sexting starts to increase. He sends another picture talking about a foot job, and my wife said I'd rather do that with my husband. My wife didn't send him full nudes, but she did send him a picture of her chest with her nipples covered with emojis and the caption, come suck on these. This was after he made a comment about sucking her feet. This is where things take a turn. He starts asking her for pictures. He then says that he's pre-coming to her feet and sends a video of what he likes. She then takes the video of her feet and gives him jerk-off instructions. This happened right after we were intimate. She claims that she felt horrible after doing that. She had a fake Snapchat for Av, and he did call that to talk about his YouTube feet idea. I did not find out about him. I knew she was having friendly conversations with one person on Reddit, and of course, she had sexual conversations on OnlyFans. I originally saw the messages with the other Reddit guy. It wasn't sexual outside of the guy asking does size matter and him venting about his ex. I was still mad. She came clean about the promoter, but she didn't remember all of the details. She did tell me that she gave him joy, which hurt, but I appreciated the truth. She claims she always brought me up. He asked her to do double penetration and that I could be included. She said I'd much rather do that with just my husband. We live in the US, so I don't think they would have ever met. She claims she saw more pictures of him, and didn't find him attractive. She didn't have any feelings for him. She didn't want him. She said she was playing a part, just like on OF. She was in an OF group chat on Reddit, and they said to take interest in your promoter's life. She said she assumed sexting, etc., was his payment. She did admit that she escalated to the joy. That she thought if he liked her more, he'd promote her more. She did admit that she got a self-esteem boost, and liked that, but had no feelings for him. She deleted OnlyFans, Reddit and all her social media. I should have set boundaries. I'm torn, and don't know what to think. Help? It's over and done with. Lesson learned, get healthy and go back to work. Leave sex work to sex workers. You asked her to be a sex worker and you are surprised she sexted people, man shrugging. Yes, surprised that she sexted a person who is and was not on OF. It was a promoter or predator in that sector. It was like she was swimming in shark, dolphin, infested waters and you added chum and sped away in a boat. Just last week, the story was your wife asking you if you would be okay with her doing OF, where you said no at first but reluctantly said yes when she told you it would only be feet pics. So, which story is the real thing? Is this a joke? Or fake post? This is too crazy to be a fake post. Why would I make a fake post about this? This shit has had me beyond depressed, but sure. Fake post. Story 2. I don't have a good feeling about this situation and hoping I am wrong. I have been with my GF for the past 3 years and we have been living together for around 1.5 years. Everything seems fine and we are just like every other couple with fights here and there. I do my best with her and I feel like we still have a spark, romantic dates, trips, and so on. Recently I came to find out that my GF is flirting with this guy at work. A lot of the flirting is actually physical, sometimes where they are touching each other or grabbing or doing other weird things. My GF doesn't set any boundaries and is playful back. The guy and my GF hung out several times in a group outside of work. Here is where it gets interesting. My GF is planning to start courses in April and go away to another state which is 5 hours away from home for 1.5 years. My work is in an office and I can't move anytime soon, so she will go alone. But guess what? The dude she works with and 2 other people are also going there and they will live close. Maybe I am wrong and overreacting, but I am really scared about this. Bro, it's over. You're already single, she just hasn't told you yet. I concur with this assessment. You can't win this. The work weasel will work on her for months while you are far away, and anything you do to try and save the sitch will just look controlling and paranoid. Better off cutting the cord when she moves for everyone's sanity. At least that way you've not burned the bridge in the meantime and you can try and win her back when she returns. First of all, flirting like that is not acceptable in a relationship. No man should be playfully flirting with your girl, and the same goes for her. She's enjoying it and allowing it. If there are men here who will say flirting is okay, they are the same men who love licking another man's cum out of their girl's vagina. Looks like you will have to be long distance. You guys will probably see each other once a month or less. Guess what that means? Your girlfriend will be ducking that guy and he's her BFBF. She's setting everything up. Yes, it is over. Tell her to move in with him now, because you can see exactly when this started and how it is ending. Pack her crap and tell her to leave. Avoid the mess by getting rid of the problem her. Nothing to lose, they are already cheating. Story 3. AITA for not backing up for my family after my wife giggled at their news. Not the a-hole. I 27 meters have a beautiful wife, Amara 26F. Anyway, on to the situation that happened a week ago. When I was 17 I had a girlfriend who cheated on me for my brother. We were together since kindergarten. Even though our relationship was fake in elementary school and middle school, we decided to make it official in high school. But after a year of making it official, my brother tells me that she and him were seeing each other behind my back. I was extremely hurt, especially since my parents knew, but they thought the relationship was still a playful one even though I told them the news first. After that I decided to just focus on school and move out of my parents' house, especially since they didn't have the decency to at least be romantically involved in private. She still tried to apologize and ask if we could be friends, but I just ignored her. After I graduated I moved to Texas at age 19 and only contacted my family on holidays. After 2 years of being there I met Amara at a bakery her mother owned and we became friends first due to us both having trust issues, but we made it official a year after meeting. The relationship was great. I loved her family and they loved me. The wedding was absolutely wonderful, even though my parents and brother didn't come, even though I sent an invitation and called them the day before, and I realized that if my wife were ever in an argument with someone, even if she was wrong, I'd always have her back. Now a week ago my mother called me to ask if we could talk. She was on speaker since Amara and I were cooking. She knows about what my family has done and how they backed up my brother, so I didn't mind putting the phone on speaker since the only conversations I have with my family is about my brother. Well, my mom goes on to tell me how my brother and ex are getting married and he wants me to be his best man. It was silent for a bit and Amara burst out with giggles and I joined in after her. My mom hung up and I didn't bother calling her back and enjoyed my night with my wife. The next morning I was bombarded with angry text from my brother and dad on how I hurt my mother's feeling and made her cry by not telling my wife to not laugh. I don't think I did anything wrong. I technically didn't do anything, but I can somewhat say that it was childish, but it was a spur of the moment. So AITA for not backing up my mom. Update: Hi everyone, I'm here to let everyone know what happened the week after the initial situation. After the week of the incident and many rude texts from my brother and father, I decided to contact my brother and told him how it was unfair to not come to my wedding but then ask me to come to his. Well, some of you were spot on. My brother didn't want to come to my wedding, so my mother made up a lie instead of telling the truth. And he never asked for me to be his best man, nor was I even invited. I called my mother and asked her what the hell was going on, and she told me that she just wanted her sons to get along again. Even if I were to accept the now fake offer, the situation would have gone way worse since I wasn't invited. I've decided, for the sake of my wife and I's future, I will be limiting contact with my side of the family. I've also mentioned in the comments that my wife is pregnant, so I have that to look forward to instead of a shit show. Amara and I also appreciate the kind words from some of you. Update 2, I think I posted the first update last night or yesterday, I don't remember, but hello again. The situation has now spread from just my wife and I to my wife's side of the family. A friend of my ex found the post and I guess the news spread like wildfire, and I was now getting texts from my immediate family and my ex and brother's friends. I've ignored it at first until some really hurtful things was said about my wife regarding her family and pregnancy, which caused my wife to have a panic attack since she couldn't calm down. I don't know if I could say what they said since it was very harsh and racist. I've now gone from limited texts to ignoring my whole family. I've decided to turn my phone off altogether. But I do appreciate every one of you, but I'm going to take this time to spend it with my wife and her family. We are now focusing on the pregnancy and getting things ready for 9 months of fun and weird cravings. Update: Hello. Exactly 21 days ago I have made a decision that has been the best decision of my life. I'm just giving a small update. 1. My family is no longer in my life. 2. My wife read the post and comments and she loves all of you but was upset that I said she giggled. She wanted me to clear it up and let you all know it was a full cackle. 3. Our little baby is growing and healthy, hoping for a girl. But that's all. Once again, thank you all. We love you. Wait, why is your mom asking you to be your brother's best man? That's super weird. Why isn't that coming from him? Very clearly NTA. Laughing is about the nicest thing you can do in a situation like this. Although, there was a great post a while back about somebody who accepted being best man and then gave a speech recounting all of the details of the cheating, dropped the mic and left. So that's always an option for you. She was the messenger. He asked her to ask me. Why? I'm not sure. She only said your brother feels bad but he thinks this is a way to reconcile, so would you like to be the best man? That's what caused my wife to laugh. Have you had zero contact with your brother since he started seeing your ex? I've decided to move past everything and try to keep in contact with him, but he's the one who gave up trying. I'm honored to stand before you in the union of my cheating ex, and my brother who gleefully stabbed me in the back. Why they decided such an honor should fall to me is absurd, as though this is the only time I could possibly reconcile and not the dozens of times I tried before this. Perhaps he has realized how friendless he is since no one else would stand with him. Maybe he thinks this is him forgiving me for not liking being a cuckold. Don't know, don't care. May you have a couple happy years of marriage and then a bitter drawn-out divorce when one of you inevitably cheats on the other. NTA. It is kind of funny how they didn't show up for your wedding, but want you to be there for your brothers. Did they give you an explanation on why they were a no-show? If I'd to guess why they want you there is because people are bound to ask why you aren't at your brother's wedding and they want to save face. They said my brother felt sick and he didn't want to go, so they just decided to stay with him. So your wife now giggled because she was sick and you decided to stay with her. NTA. So, clearly they RSVP'd they'd be going and you knew they had tickets booked and knew what hotel they were staying at, right? Because if not, then nope, they just lied to you. They didn't even leave Michigan, apparently he got sick the day before I called them. Right, but if they weren't lying to you, they would have come to your wedding if your brother wasn't sick. So, in the world where he really was sick, they clearly didn't know that until the day before, which means they should have RSVP'd that they were coming to your wedding, they should have bought plane tickets or at a minimum had a hotel booked. So, did they do any of that? Because if they never RSVP'd to your wedding, and never told you when their flight was / what hotel they were staying at, then I'm sorry, but the story about your brother is a load of shit. They never were planning to come to your wedding, because if you're planning to go to your kid's / brother's wedding that is multiple states away, then you need to make arrangements way further in advance than your brother's illness appeared. Do you follow? They RSVP'd that they were coming, but I'm not sure if they ever even had a plane ticket or hotel. I only talked to them the day before the wedding to see if they were in Texas, but that's when they came up with the excuse. I expected that from them. Glad you understand how your family is. I'm sure you're disappointed they didn't come, but at least the outcome was the one you expected. Even worse, you called them. They were going to simply no-show their own son's wedding with no notice because the brother felt sick. It seems they only want you there to save face. As it seems you are expecting, your wife may just be feeling sick too the day before the wedding. That's the petty route though. Story 4. My 25 meters girlfriend, 23F, admitted she was going to have sex with other guys. So basically my GF is about to leave with her friends for a trip in this place where there is a kind of festival which is known for partying hard and lots of casual sex. She's leaving in 5 days, and yesterday she told me that we should make a deal and allow us to have one sexual experience with someone else since we're still young, and that she wanted to do it at the festival. I told her no of course, so she told me okay, no big deal. And she swore to me that she won't cheat and that the idea was stupid and that she chooses me over any casual sex. So now I'm insecure about this whole trip thing. She cheated on me a couple of times in the past and it caused great pain, but that was over 2 years ago, so I don't know what to think. If she hasn't cheated on me in 2 years, maybe she's not going to now. I wish she would have made a bit more effort to reassure me, then I would have trusted her fully. But I brought it up and she got mad, saying I'm trying to make her feel guilty about the trip and that she's not responsible for my insecurity. I feel like I'm in a lose-lose situation. If I insist, she gets mad and makes me feel guilty. If I don't, then I just have to wait and hope she'll be honest. And I feel like she could solve the situation by just reassuring me properly, without getting mad / yelling or being cold when I ask, but for some reason she doesn't. How do I get out of this situation? I really don't see any way out right now. Edit. I wanna thank everyone who showed support in this thread and in the DMs. I think I was blinded by how much I love her and care for her and deluding myself she won't cheat on me. It's pretty clear, like the title says, THST, she had already planned on it and admitted, and I think it doesn't even matter if she doesn't actually do it. I think I just didn't want to accept that I've given all of myself to a person who already saw me at my worst, who told me they would never do it again, and that seeing me hurting like that was heartbreaking, and then she did it again. I think I'm not going to do anything until she leaves because I don't want to ruin her trip, but I won't be there when she comes back. I'm really hurting so much right now, so I'll just leave here my last comment for explanation. I just don't understand why would someone like my girlfriend commits in a relationship, talk about future, plan to buy a new apartment, create thousands of memories, get along with your family, write you letters to tell you how much they love you and appreciate you and that they want to give it all back and look after you. And then they just cheat on you, knowing how much it broke you and made it hard for you in the past. Why would someone do something that cruel and not just leave and make all the experience they want if that's more important than you? It's so heartbreaking. On the bright side, now you have 5 days to separate your stuff and start moving on. Get a plan in place, she clearly has won already. This was the best advice. Your relationship is like a gangrenous leg wound at the thigh and amputating the leg one toe at a time. How many times do you want to go through the pain? Choose your best life, Agape, 2 hearts. Seriously, if your partner cheats, that should be it. I don't understand why people stick to someone who has cheated on them. Of course, I suppose in some cases some people feel cheated on while the other doesn't feel it's cheating due to a slight difference in value. But those are things like being a bit too intimate for one partner's liking with a third party without crossing lines and stuff. Maybe. Even then, the cheating party should just apologize and re-evaluate their own boundaries together, otherwise, always leave such a relationship. Don't be with someone who doesn't mind crossing those boundaries. What happened after the first couple of times she cheated on you? How was that resolved and why did you end up staying with her after that? There was no 4-year sunken cost to think about at the time. My guess is she knows she can get away with cheating on you. She probably wanted permission to not have the guilt, but she will likely do it again if the situation arises, because cheaters cheat. She knows she can eventually get you to forgive you. I've been through this. My ex-wife cheated on me 2 years before we got married. She was so sorry, cried all the tears, and then I took her back. She always had boundary issues with guys, too, even if she wasn't cheating. Would say things like, if I ever found out you cheated on me, I'd forgive you. I was so young and dumb and naive back then, and my dumbass married her. Spoiler alert, she cheated again, and we're now divorced. If she respected you and the relationship, she wouldn't cheat on you or even seriously consider it to the point of asking you permission. She was very drunk both times. The first time she just woken up naked with 2 guys after a party, the second time wasn't full cheating. I caught her red-handed at a party kissing and touching another guy and she was completely drunk and took her away. It was hard and I did break up with her, but then she did give me a very emotional speech about how she felt and that she was devastated for breaking my heart and so on, and said she would work to be a better person and thank me for everything, so I asked her to try again. It was hard and we had arguments and almost broke up again the first months after, but then we made it work quite well until now. I'm not going to tell you what you should do because I don't know the two of you or how your relationship is otherwise, but I would have a serious pause about getting too serious or staying on with someone who has already cheated on me and is openly contemplating doing it again. I would personally lean towards walking away, even if I felt I loved her otherwise. Your story sounds similar to mine early on. She was just drunk, lots of crying and excuses and saying how she would do better. We'd break up and get back together. Ultimately though, she didn't respect me because she knew I would never completely walk away and always took her back. I'm not saying it's impossible to salvage a relationship after infidelity, lots of people do it. But it's hard. If she's openly talking about sex outside of the relationship, I'd be wary. She may have already cheated on you again and you just haven't caught her. Thank you, I really appreciate you sharing your experience. I think maybe when it comes to it, some people will always choose one night's fun over their partner. I just don't understand why would someone like my girlfriend commit in a relationship, talk about future, plan to buy a new apartment, create thousands of memories, get along with your family, write you letters to tell you how much they love you and appreciate you and that they want to give it all back and look after you. And then cheat on you, knowing how much it broke you, make it hard for you in the past. Why would someone do something that cruel and not just leave and make all the experience they want if that's more important than you? It's so heartbreaking. My dude. Can I suggest you tell her that you are breaking up with her and tell her why? She's an untrustworthy person who clearly wanted to cheat again and that you have more self-respect than to be with someone like that. Do not wait till she gets back. She could try gaslighting you into believing you are wrong and that she didn't do anything and set you up for years of questioning misery. Instead, tell her you are breaking up with her before she goes. If she decides you are more important than the festival, then she will not go to prove herself to you. In which case, happy days. If not, you are no worse off. Tuck her feelings, she was more than ready to trample yours, so assert yourself and make her be an adult, or not. Thank you for your advice, I really appreciate it. Anyways, I'm more inclined to wait. I can manage to see her just once before she leaves, and while she's gone and I can organize myself like where to go, start moving my stuff and get some help from some friend. And be emotionally prepared for when she comes back too. And I'm not sure I'm willing to give her the chance to renounce the trip. She'll just do it and be annoyed and make me feel guilty for a while. Thinking rationally, if she wanted me, she wouldn't make plans to have sex with others. The pain I've gone through already is too much. If she still has desires to have sex with other people, then I don't think I can deal with that kind of pain all over again. I gave her my heart and she shattered it. I gave it back to her a second time and she threatened to do it again. I really do love her, but I won't go through all of that all over again. Also, she spent time and money for that trip. She was saving for it, so I'd rather let her deal with this later. Please, she has cheated already. I'm sorry to say this, man, but you're a ducking doormat. She's going to duck at the festival. Grow a ducking spine. We hope that by sharing these stories with interested folks like you, we can help people recognize the signs of a relationship in trouble, and avoid so many of these heartbreaking situations yourselves. Have a good day or night, wherever you are.